Hello everyone and welcome to this week's 5 Awesome Transformer Guys Friday, and we are discussing crossovers this week. Crossovers being as in, I guess, toys, comics, and I suppose technically count Only Human as a cartoon because it technically was a crossover but technically not. But anyway, I'm not going to go into that one. I'm going to go into the toys and the comics a little bit. Now, the toys, when I was growing up, I can't think of any. I think there were some, but there were sort of few and far between. But I was never really bothered about them until I saw this. It is the X-Wing Transformer crossover. Now, I love the X-Wing when it comes onto the screen. I think it's I don't know why, I just think it's a brilliant shape. I love Transformers. So the thought of these two being turned into one was absolutely fantastic for me. I picked it up as soon as I saw it, transformed it back, put it down, came back to it, transformed it again, and had a slight problem. Now, this isn't your normal leg pop out. This is your leg pop out, taking the ball socket with it. So, as far as I can tell, there is no way to fix this toy. And I'm quite frankly not going to pay to get another one. So, had that not happened, I would probably have a few more Star Wars Transformers than I have. The fact that the one toy I wanted was destroyed upon the second play kind of put me off them. The only other two I do own are the Death Star and the Millennium Falcon, purely because they are bigger moulds, so I'm hoping won't break as quick. I will admit I am extremely careful with them now. So that was kind of a disappointment, especially when it was something you always wanted to own, an X-Wing that transforms. So, my first real crossover was a disappointment for me. Now, are just Star Wars crossovers, you have Marvel crossovers, which I do not understand in the slightest. Spider-Man turns into a bike, or a car, or whatever it is he turns into. Why? There has been one from that series I could understand, well, it's two technically. It is Iron Man and War Machine. They make sense turning into vehicles. The others, no. And even then, I'm not going to buy Iron Man or War Machine. There was a series beforehand called Megamorphs. I don't own any of the toys, but I do own some of the comics that came with the series. Well, they didn't come with the series, they came after the series was released. Just so to show you some of the images. You have Wolverine in a jet mode, and then down at the bottom you have, triangle this right, Spider-Man in his robot mode, and Spider-Man turned into a giant spider. Makes sense. After that, I think there was only one series. I may be wrong, there may have been a second series of Megamorph, but I think there was only one. Now, I came across these by complete accident. Well, I say accident, I ran across them in a car boot sale. And I've seen toys similar before, but I didn't remember these being out. They obviously were out, I just didn't remember them. Turtle Transformers. Now, I remember like them turning into vans and stuff like that. What I didn't realise they turned into was little turtles. So they turned from a little turtle to a big turtle. Okay, I can see the sense in that. I don't see why, but I can see the sense in that. I think I only picked them up because all 4 of them were there and it was £1 for all 4. So I thought, it's the Turtles, all 4, that price, can't complain. Comic wise, I can think of the G.I. Joe ones with when they crossed over with Dreamwave, top of my head. G.I. Joe was owned by a different company, because now they're both owned by IDW, but at the time G.I. Joe and Transformers were owned by 2 different companies. I can't remember who owned G.I. Joe, got life in there. But it was, both of them were crossing over. So G.I. Joe did their own crossover with Transformers, and Transformers did their own crossover with G.I. Joe. Now, the Dreamwave comic, I didn't like. I can't remember why, I just know I didn't like it. I slightly enjoyed the G.I. Joe version crossing over more. And if I remember right, there's been a few more series after it as well. I can't remember a thing about it. I'm going to have to dig them out and have a read at some point. So, thanks Team Decepticon. I'm going to be reading some crossovers now. But I can't really go into depth about it because I can't really remember anything about it. I just remember that I didn't like the Dreamwave one. I think it was too dark. Not dark in story wise, the imaging was too dark, the colouring was too dark, you couldn't tell really what was going on. And it wasn't a brilliant story in the G.I. Joe one, but it was a decent story. Plus, the Transformers turned into his tanks. Can't go wrong there. So I am going to leave this with a question. So feel free to post your answer as a comment or do a video if you want to. My question is this. Now, it doesn't matter if you love or hate crossovers. The question is simply this. What would you like to see most as a crossover, whether it's a one-off or part of a series? I would like to see this as a one-off. I wouldn't like them to do a series of this, but I would like them to see it do it as a one-off. I would like to see this turned into a Transformer. It is a Thunder Tank. I would love to have this turned into one. Now, with the rumours that Thundercats are coming back, chances are they might just do it. I am a little worried, however, that they will take this and basically turn it into this. So, yes, I would love to see this as a Transformer. I just hope it's not a case of this again. So, there's the question. What would you most like to see turned into a Transformer? It can be anything G.I. Joe, Thundercats, He-Man vehicles, whatever. So, that's it from me. I'll see you next week.